everyone. Welcome to our midweek chat. Hope you're having a great week so far. And for all of you that were with us on Sunday or caught us a little bit later, thank you very much for your patience with us as we were dealing with some technical difficulties. But in spite of all of that, it was a great Sunday. It was wonderful for me. I got to preach for the first time in front of people in more than 6 months. So it was such a special time for me this week. So thank you to everybody who came out and really made that a special time for me. Now, this last week, we took some time in my sermon to discuss sort of the two sides of our lives where we have our own plans and then we have what God wants. And we were talking about how this was shown in the story of David wanting to build a temple, right? In this last week, we were in 2 Samuel chapter 7. And when you read that, we saw that David had this great idea to say, hey, look at this wonderful place that I live in. Why don't we do the same thing for God? And let's build him this temple so he doesn't have to be in this tent anymore. And God says, hey, thank you so much, but I've actually got a different plan. And then he goes on to talk about a plan that David couldn't even begin to have probably imagined. And he goes all the way up to say that out of you, there's going to be this Messiah that will come and build a temple out of all of my people. And it was such just a great realization and wondering that even in the best of our knowledge and the best of our desires to want to do the best we can, that God's ability to plan something even far greater than we could ever imagine is still there. So I was hoping that this week you've been taking the time to think about that in your own lives. Maybe asking yourself the question of what decisions do I make without even thinking about consulting God on these? What's the big plan in my life? What's my big passions and desires? And do they line up with what God has planned for me? So I hope you take that time to really chew in on that this week, to ask God straightforward, Lord, is what I'm doing what you want me to be doing? I think you'll be amazed at what God has for you this week. Now this week I'm excited because Pastor Dave is going to be continuing on this series that we've been talking about, which is called A Journey of the Heart, as we've been walking through with the story of David. And this week we get to the story of David and Bathsheba. Now, many of you already know about this story a little bit, so I am excited to see what God has laid on Pastor Dave's heart for this message. So you won't want to miss that. Again, Sunday at 10:30 live in person or online, or again, our services are always available immediately after throughout the entire week. So if you missed it on Sunday, you can always go back and watch it. And if you are considering coming into the church for live in person, if you haven't seen that before, let me just give you a heads up of what to expect. A reminder that while masks are not mandatory anymore, when you come into the church, it is recommended that if you're not fully vaccinated, that you continue to wear a mask. And just in case you don't even want to take a chance with that, there's an entire section of the sanctuary set apart for people that only want to be around other people who have masks. So if that's something that's keeping you back, but you'd really like to come, know that we do have your safety in mind there. So there's a spot for you there. We are also trying to limit as much not warranted contact as we can. So we've done a couple different things in service. We're not passing the peace yet. We've changed our offering time. We're not passing a plate. There's actually a spot in the foyer for you to drop any sort of offering or tithe into. As well as for right now, our children are actually starting in children's church, so that there's not a mad rush and trying to get around people right now. So thank you so much, by the way, for everybody that has been so very patient with us as we sort of slow and soft open into what I think will be more of a grand opening time in September. So thank you very much for your patience. And if you have any questions about any of the changes, or if you have any comments or anything, I would love to hear about them. Please let me know. Don't feel like you can't come to me with those, but let me know. My email is pastorjimmyhigh@gmail.com. Real simple, easy. I'd love to hear from you. So I hope you're having a wonderful day. I hope that God continues to bless you this week, and I can't wait to see you on Sunday. Have a blessed day.